Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna assume that the one with lipstick on it is yours, because I didn't wear lipstick.
I don't think that's mine.
Salud.
Salud.
Oh. Oh.
I actually just bit the lime husk.
Oh. Hello. Welcome to the Rachel's Records meme page podcast. We are
Rachel's
pretty drunk.
Actually, Christian is really just drunk, so.
So we're gonna do this podcast that you're listening to. Is What's Wrong, and they're from Seattle. They're pretty cool. And we're playing a show with them on March 15th. Jules May. 21 plus for any drinkers. So
March 15th or April 15th?
April 15th.
I got
So we're doing April 15th. And my next thing is with that, that's going to be our third show with Brandon, who is our new bass player. So,
Whoa,
Brandon.
wait, what? I'm playing that show? I thought that was a GMO show.
No, that's great segue. So, GMO is playing Jules May on March 26th. With Enough to Moon Mother in free samples. But don't worry, because Constanza is going to be at Jules May on April 15th. So...
Oh, I knew about that.
Yeah.
I've requested the day off already, so...
Leave it to the fucking bass player to not know the shows.
Yeah, I didn't say good show to you, dude.
So come out to that, he's our new bass player. And, like, after that...
I'll probably have my head shaved by then. I doubt it, but, you know.
Salud. Stay tuned for What's Wrong. Merch on our website. Fuck you.
Wait, hold on. Pine Box also has a show that's not announced coming May 1st. And it's going to be a heavy one, so keep your eyes peeled for that announcement as well.
So sorry. Do you have your own podcast, or is this my podcast?
Oh, God damn it.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye, Rachel's Records.
All right. I'm good. So we're live now. Welcome to Jet City Radio.
Jet City Radio. Welcome back to the Rachel's Records meme page podcast, where all we spread is memes. But,
Nice.
So who do we got here today? We got a band that we like a lot. What's Wrong? We have Grant and Sean. Is there anyone else in the building?
You're too sweet. We've got Logan, our lead guitarist. He's role playing as Jamie from the Joe Rogan
That
podcast.
felt like a seance. Do we have anybody else in the room with us?
Right?
Yeah, let me check the Ouija board.
Hello, I'm the sound guy.
Hello.
Yeah, we've got a southern sound guy from Florida.
Well, let's start off by introducing what y'all do as instruments.
Hello, my name is Grant, and I play the drums, or at least I try to, in What's Wrong.
Oh, yeah. Sean.
Oh, I'm Sean. I don't play an instrument. I just I sing in the band.
Hell yeah. And then we got two other guitar players and bassists, right? Is there a
Yes, sir.
specific like lead or rhythm that y'all do, or is it just two guitar players?
Well, we have a mastermind and a rhythm guitar.
Okay.
Logan, also role playing as Jamie tonight, is our mastermind guitar player. He does most of the writing, pretty much all the writing, 99.5% of the writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skylar does our rhythm guitar.
That's nice.
And Skylar was actually fixing to be present tonight, so I'm sorry he couldn't attend. Hi, Skylar. Hi, Mom.
Hi. But so does that go also with lyrics that Logan writes, or how does that get split up?
Oh no, nobody writes lyrics.
Yeah,
Oh, hell
That's
yeah.
just me.
if you've ever seen National Treasure by Nick Cage,
Mm-hmm.
That's how we constitute our lyrics, or how Sean protects them.
Oh hell yeah! When you were like, no one writes the lyrics, I thought we were going to get like every show is like a different,
Oh
verse.
no, we just we type like a criteria into like an AI search engine, and it just generates a song.
Hey, I like it. It's like a metal band namer or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
No, I write it.
it's the same search engine that Post Malone got his name from.
Mm-hmm. Is that pre-face tattoo? No, he already had face tattoos.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They served them well.
He has a fuck ton now though.
A little bit of a tangent. Did you know he's part of like the metal scene, or at least was?
I know when he was like a teenager, he liked, metal and like all that stuff. I don't know how deep that went. Did he like play in bands?
He tried out for Crown the Empire, I think it is.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. He was in like, Asking Alexandria-esque bands, doing all the headbanging, crab walking stuff.
Run in place. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. I mean, Post Malone, I won't listen to his music. I'm not that sad.
He's not bad.
I'm not saying he's
Oh my
not bad,
goodness.
but it ain't my cliche.
Yeah. I feel that.
For the record, Post Malone, if you're listening, I think the music you make is a work of art.
So good. So fucking good.
And I will respect that he has a lot of like foot in it compared to like a lot of artists who are just kind of letting like, all the producers come in and generate shit. So I like seeing an artist that has like a lot of control on their shit.
Absolutely.
Always commendable.
But so y'all sample all your drums then, right? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we do. Absolutely. We sample all the drums. They start out as programs, they finish as programs, and then basically my role is to say whether or not I can play the section or whether or not I can learn the section.
Oh, hell
And that's how we do it.
At least they give you an option instead of being like, hey, here's your drum part.
He's
Oh yeah.
being a little modest. He contributes.
Oh yeah. No, I have a lot of a creative contribution, but I think, sampling drums in productions these days is such an efficient way to create music that it gets shit on way too much. But I understand why people are scared of it.
I think a lot of it goes into how you write those drum parts. Because if you don't know how to program drums, then that's where the kind of like joke comes in. But there's like a lot of people, and I was even talking about it on the Kaizo podcast I did with them. Josh, their drummer, programmed all their drums for their first record. I had no fucking idea. I thought it was live drums. And Lander was like, no, I just learned it. I was like, okay. Like, and I think a lot of that goes into it. And again, like, I would not have been able to tell that with y'all's like music that's on Spotify and stuff, that it was like not even live drums at all.
Yeah, dude. That's the nice thing about like technology these days. It's just quality. Like you can't tell the difference. And I guess we've kind of embraced that.
Yeah. And Christian, I'll take that as a compliment because you've seen me play live. So if you can differentiate my live performance from the samples, I'm gonna wear that badge with pride.
Hell yeah. Man will always beat computer. They made like 6 Terminators off it. So
That's true.
yeah. But
He does remind me of Arnold.
I should probably disclose I don't normally dress this clean. This is my work outfit.
I like
You
it.
can't trust this guy.
This is my work attire. Yeah. You can trust me. I can sell you a used car.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
fuck
say he
yeah.
was like a salesman.
So I know y'all just got done with a few different shows. I know you're up in Everett, Seattle, and stuff. Where, more or less, like I know from COVID y'all have been pretty active, but pre-COVID, were you guys playing a lot, or what was going on then? Because I know we had one Funhouse show together, like pre-COVID.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But other than that, like, when did you guys start? Better question. Start playing live around with each other.
Oh shit. Because we've gone through a couple lineup changes.
Mm-hmm.
Our first show ever was at the High Dive in Seattle, which is actually a really cool venue. Excuse me. But in the era of COVID, I think like many other performing acts and just everyone in general, we went through a dark spot. I wouldn't say that like we went on any sense of a hiatus or we weren't still being creative, but we weren't really playing much and we were being extra cautious with like contact with each other. So
Mhm.
most of our interactions were through like remote, whether we're on Chatterbait or or Zooming.
Can he say that?
Oh yeah, no, we're totally good with it.
Sorry. Yeah. When we get to the ad plugs, I'll do one for Chatterbait. But yeah, so we mainly just saw each other remotely. We did some writing remotely, a lot of arguing remotely. But at the end of the day, that's how the haunting came out. It was through the era of COVID and not really seeing each other and just trying some new shit.
Hell yeah. And I really like when bands are still able to get creative in those moments, because it was hard, especially during like the first beginnings of lockdown, just to kind of stay doing anything. So
Yeah, it was really uncertain, or at least it felt that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just not knowing when things could be back or if they would be back. You know, we didn't really know the direction the coronavirus was going in, especially, and how serious it would get and stuff.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And one personal phenomenon that comes to mind, and maybe this applies to everyone participating, I noticed that like if I'm not physically in the preference or in the presence of my band members and we're not like physically rehearsing, it's hard to keep that steam moving forward.
Hmm.
Like just being together and jamming and stuff like keeps you in that momentum or that wave of being like creative and passionate.
Yeah. Kind of like remind you, like, oh yeah, this is why I like it, or whatever. It's like, oh, these guys aren't assholes anymore. That's how I would always think about once we would practice. I was like, oh, these guys aren't assholes. These are my friends.
Yeah.
personally speaking, like I know that I certainly identify with what I do as like just an overall in general outlet, not just a creative outlet, but like an emotional outlet, and being able to let loose with, you know, some of the people that you're most comfortable with. It's really self-affirming, and I don't know, it feels right. So not having that, it's like an itch you can't scratch.
Mhm.
Yeah, to vibe off of that totally. This was especially hard during COVID, was not being able to physically play the drums. Actually, during COVID, I was inspired to buy an electric drum set just so I could role play that I play the drums. But you know, Christian, I'm sure you can empathize with like an acoustic set you can just beat the shit out of, and that's in part like a big joy factor that I get out of this style of music. Is just heavy and hard hitting, and just
in his other life he was a cop.
Yeah.
It shows through.
Yeah, excluding that, you know. You know, just fucking sweating and losing that over COVID was definitely difficult. But I think maybe not necessarily like through my own creative influence, but I think all of our tension and our pain kind of spilled through into the haunting.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, COVID was kind of shitty. Like, luckily with me, I had I have a practice space, a storage unit, so I was still able to go out and kind of play drums, so that really helped. But definitely, in lieu of that, I was still able to do a lot of recording for Constanza, because I would just do all my parts and then had to do reamping later. So, but yeah, once it came to like having to practice again, I was like, oh, this is weird, having to play with people. I don't know if it felt the same for you, just kind of having to shake off the dust of being like, okay, this is real again.
Oh yeah, because you kind of have to sync with each other again, get in that vibe of playing together. I have a question for you. I'm gonna flip the script. Jamie, look up "flip the script" on Google. I'd like to know. I know that was dumb.
I like it.
I'd like to know where the name Constanza comes from.
So that kind of came funny. So we recorded our first 4 songs in Tacoma with Adherin. It's like right across from Real Art. And at that time we were going as Nevaeh because we're super fucking edgy and spelled heaven backwards. And we're not.
Oh, I was thinking the body wash.
Nivea.
But yeah, we're not God Squad or nothing, but we just thought that was edgy. And then we were at the
Gotcha.
studio, and he was like, throughout the whole session, kept kind of dropping little things like, yeah, like when you guys were here a few years ago, or like, you guys really changed up your sound. And it was just me and Darren. We were a two-piece at that time, and I moved there a year before that. Darren, same thing, and we were like, we weren't there before. So I went home, Googled it, and there's literally like metalcore band from Tacoma named Nevaeh, and that dude recorded them. And then I texted
okay.
Darren that night. I was like, okay, so changing the name, what are we doing? And then that was that's a song, or that's like a female name in Spanish that he like really likes, and he wrote a song like with that title. So we were like, fuck it, let's just put that as the name, pop punk it up,
East Coast.
Yeah.
Or Latin America.
No, I'm talking about like Philly or something. Like,
No, he's
I
from
feel
the
like-
Philippines.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Philly, the Philippines.
No,
Right.
I'm at Philadelphia.
Phonetically. You're
No,
halfway there, Sean.
I feel like whenever I see him, he's wearing like a denim jacket.
That is
Mhm.
very East Coastian.
Yeah, I just whenever I think of denim, I think of like New York and Jersey and Philly and stuff. I was just wondering if he was from the East Coast.
No, and what's funny is his partner is from Boston, and they go there, frequently, and I think he loves the
could-
culture out there too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Shout out Darren. Forehead kiss.
Boston's fucking
Shout out,
sick
Darren.
though.
I
Oh,
fucking
speaking
love-
of Constanza band members, I saw you guys picked up Brandon recently.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
There's
Recall-
just something about that guy. I just want to squeeze his cheeks.
Yeah, he's sweet. Brandon came in because we played a Lamplighter show, and then did one other show with Marlon, and then Brandon came in. We aren't really kind of disclosing what happened, but there were some issues outside of us. So Brandon is
Oh.
now filling in there. So he came in clutch.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was helpful that he learned the songs a week prior.
Gotcha.
That's badass.
So you can use a safe word if this next question is off topic, but are you saying that we can't talk about why Brandon came in as bass? Or
I mean,
This is
once
Fight Club, dude.
yeah, once we're off the record, I'll talk about it. Like, I'll tell you for
Gotcha.
sure. But we're still kind of like respecting the other people and just trying to keep all the parties.
absolutely.
Like, so
we totally
all-
believe that. When we kick out Sean, I won't
Let's
talk
cut
about
this
him
out.
anymore.
Let's cut this. Fuck this band.
That's fucking funny. But yeah, and he's gonna be pulling double duty for a lot of shows. So I always like when motherfuckers pull double duty.
Oh my
Four
god!
guys.
Yeah, actually,
That's what we're doing.
speaking of, do you mind if I plug a show with some context?
Do it.
On March 25th, we're playing at Tony V's garage.
It's my birthday.
That's not what I'm plugging. We're going to be playing with Ashes of Existence, which two of our band members are pulling double duty for. Jorge, our bass player, and Skylar are also members in that band. So it'll be really crazy to watch them get dehydrated on stage.
Are they playing the same instruments that they do in What's Wrong, or are they doing anything?
Actually,
No.
Jorge is a masterful guitar player.
So good.
Arguably,
Yeah.
we underutilize him in What's Wrong. So he's the lead guitar player, and I think the creative mastermind in Ashes of Existence. But Skylar will also be playing guitar as well.
Is that the one with Examinate on the bill?
No,
Or
that's the follow up shows on the 26th and 27th. It's
Got
with a band from the Bay Area, Still Night, that's
Mhm.
coming up.
Okay, hell yeah.
They're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
That's what I really like about basses. And I probably will say this on like every other podcast. What makes a good bass player is a bass player playing guitar first.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, 100%.
That's a controversial statement because that's kind of a meme in the metalcore community, right?
Yeah.
Is that no one wants to play bass, so it just ends up being a guitar player.
Mm-hmm. Or just a really like person that's never played instruments being like, yeah, I'll play bass.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
Yeah.
just a guitar with 4 strings. It's not that different.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like all the bass heads out there
Yeah.
are gonna be
Oh
out
yeah,
for
that's
blood.
true.
You don't
Man,
gotta really
bass is
do.
fucking sick. Don't fucking harp on him.
All I gotta say is you don't gotta do power chords on a bass unless you're like Les Claypool or something.
Oh, there we go. There
Yeah.
we go. Name dropping. We know all the people you know, Christian.
Hey, the dude who wrote South Park, I know. But Damn, so y'all are up in because that venue, Tony V's, is in Everett. Am I correct on that?
Oh, yeah, I
It
love
is
that
a
place.
great,
It's got definitely got a biker bar vibe, but in general, the stage is tremendous, and I would say that the value of their audio equipment and their lighting situation. I shouldn't say value. I'm not talking about stealing shit from them. I'm talking about the fidelity of their audio equipment and their lighting equipment is. It's really cool. They've got a cool situation up there. I think it really helps put Everett on the map when you're looking at the underground music scene, like metalcore, emo, screamo. Oh, we should talk about screamo during this podcast. That's a deep-seated issue in this band.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Because we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so Everett, and then what do we got after that for y'all?
Real Art, also another great venue. I'm going to be brown nosing all the venues, I guess, except for the Funhouse. Yeah, Real Art is fucking awesome. And then on the 27th, it's the Funhouse, which the great part there is it's in Seattle.
Yeah. So is there an issue with Funhouse?
It's just, you've been on that stage.
Yeah.
It fucking sits a drum set and that's it.
Well, the worst part about where the drummer sits is it's right above that air conditioner or heater or whatever the fuck that is. The amount of times I've hit my hand on that or my head almost, yeah. You gotta really position that shit straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never even considered that.
No, it just
Drummers are always getting overlooked, though, right?
We get put in the tiny corner. They're like, "Yeah, you could go over there," and it's like, "Cool, I won't even be able to get in my kit."
Oh my god! Yeah.
One thing Grant has started coming to terms with is that there's just no such thing as a good shot of him at a show.
In our social
He's in a
media
hole.
presence, I don't exist in the band. I manage the social media, but I don't exist. In the band.
When we play live, we just put a mannequin on a drum set and it plays on MIDI.
Exactly.
He's
I mean,
not
there's
even
samples
there.
anyways.
All the drums coming
just
through the
found
PA.
Yeah.
We found a really good company that makes life-size replicas, blow-up replicas of people. So we molded my face and all the other important parts, and we use it on the drums.
Made a few parts bigger, enhanced wherever it needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Well, while I got a second, what y'all drinking?
Well, as you can see, we want to be sponsored by Silver City Brewery. Shout out to Bremerton. If you guys are listening or if you see this podcast, know that we drink this and it's what plants crave.
Is that why the Truly got out of the shot? Just so we can have no controversial shots?
You caught that. Wow, that's
Bring the Truly back in.
amazing. It's empty, but because it was so good, truly.
Yeah, he's hydrated and intoxicated.
Hell yeah. See, no more hangover. Gets rid of it.
Absolutely. No hangover to begin with.
At our show in McCoy's, I threw up second to last song. I have a stomach issue, so it will hit.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. You know what I mean? But what fucked it up was I went to Wendy's and I got a fry and a Frosty, and then ate the fry, all good. Went, set up, waiting for sound check. Doors happened. Then I went back to my car and I was like, oh fuck, my Frosty. Grabbed it, took it in. Used my one drink ticket to just get a shot of Screwball whiskey, because again, all their other whiskeys, I was looking at it.
There
and
it
I
was.
Yeah, I didn't see anything else. I was like, oh, this looks fucking gross, but okay, do it. Got the shot and I
Who
put it
could
on
have seen
stage.
this coming?
I know, yeah. So then I put it on stage. I was like, cool, grab my Frosty. Did that fucker in 4 scoops. No problem.
Okay, yeah. I think 4 scooping a Frosty and shooting whiskey is a combination that, somebody should have taught you not to try.
It was the worst thing I've ever done. And then the second to last song hit, breakdown hit, so I stopped for a second. And then that's when I was like, yep, it's for sure happening. And I walked
Did
off
it
stage.
interrupt you?
I
walked off.
Yeah, I'm a fucking
Kudos
man.
to
I
you.
swallowed that shit. I put that shit.
What?
swallowed it halfway through, finished the song, went to the trash can, did it in front of everyone. I was like,
Wow.
I'm not throwing up on myself tonight.
It's fucking punk.
That
Yeah.
is a lot better. I would probably try to sweat it out and just end up puking on myself and the snare drum.
Yeah,
Be
no way.
everywhere.
It used to happen a lot too at shows. Like I wouldn't even drink. Like there would be times where I was sober, I would just start throwing up.
Damn. Well, you never have to feel shame. I don't know if you know about Gigi Allen, but he used to like poop on stage. So
Yeah, and then wipe it on himself.
yeah, he was a fucking psychopath. You're
Yeah.
doing great, Christian.
Thank
So
you.
hypothetically, let's say that 4 scoops of a whatever frosty and a shot of whiskey is a drink that people seek at a bar. What would you call it?
Okay, so the problem with the screwball one, it had like cinnamon in it. So if it was just like regular whiskey, I would call that like an Irish root beer float.
Avalanche.
Oh,
okay.
Irish Avalanche, that would be a good one. But
Okay.
with the cinnamon, that's what made it so fucking gross. And right when I drank it, I was like, cool, this is gonna come up. So if it had cinnamon in it, I'm gonna call it the shitty disaster.
The shitty disaster.
Yeah.
I'm gonna order that at a bar and see how they react.
Just start making up drink names and see if they get it. Can I get the fucked face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get the Irish Avalanche, please?
They start Googling it all day. Like, what the fuck is that?
They're like, Jamie, bringing that up.
Oh my god. Any particular drinks y'all like at shows, or is drinking at a show not a thing? Mainly because of points.
Oh,
I bring
actually,
up.
Oh my god.
Grandpa Grant sets a
These
rule
fuckers.
in the band.
Mhm.
Nobody adheres to it.
Yeah, nobody adheres to it. But the rule of thumb that I try to set is 2 drink maximum, 2 drink minimum.
Pre-show.
Yeah, it's a pre-show rule. Generally, people breach the maximum component. Rarely do
funny.
people breach the minimum component.
I like-
But go ahead.
I saw something that Fat Mike was talking about. He was like, I have to have at least like 6 to 7 drinks in me before I play. And he's like, if I don't, then I'm drinking all of those on stage during the first song.
Oh my god!
I can't do that.
I'm not familiar with who Fat Mike is, so I don't know if he plays an instrument. But for me, especially since we're on a backtrack and a metronome, the drunker I get, the less likely I'm going to follow the metronome.
Yeah, he's in no effects.
So I have. Okay. I have to keep it tight and puckered.
Yeah, he's a bass player, so it goes back to the whole thing. So
Oh yeah, about yeah.
they
bass
don't need
players
him
and-
for the first song.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, the drink of choice would probably be like, ooh, I'm a little bit trashy and a little bit extra saucy. I like to get a Red Bull vodka
Mhm.
and a tall can. I can get Montucky. I'll fucking go for it just for the brand. But usually it's a Rainier, even though
Okay.
those aren't brewed here in Washington. It's wild.
Yeah, gentrification. You know what I mean?
It really is. Fuck you,
Scumbags.
California. Even though
Yeah.
I moved from there.
Yeah, me too. But we won't talk about that. So,
Yeah.
what part of California?
Oh, well, we are going to talk about it. Central California. Fresno area is where I grew up, and then I spent
Okay.
most of my adult life in the Central Coast. So, like Monterey, Santa Cruz, which is having a really cool hardcore Renaissance resurgence right now.
Yeah, Santa
Um,
Cruz.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I stayed in Fresno for about 6 hours, and I had to unload a U-Haul to another U-Haul. I never want to go back there again because of how hot it was. Like, fuck that. But
Mhm. It's
is
inhospitable.
right. Are any of you guys else from out of state, or is it all Washington?
I'm the only. Oh, that's not true. Wait, is Jorge from Washington?
No, I think he was born in California as well.
Okay, yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
We're
And then
all transplant.
Skylar's from Cedro Woolley, and I'm from Seattle.
Well, Skylar was also from California originally.
Mr. Croston Jensen.
Yeah, he was from California too. We're all from California.
Huh.
You could say that the musical talent from here is all Californian immigrants.
That's how it goes. You know what I mean? That's what's funny is most of the people in Rachel's too, they're all like Washington transplants just kind of getting put in. So
What does that say about
Don't
native
include that
Washingtonians?
Us calling us immigrants.
I don't want to start the whole thing about Washington people, but some Washington people are
No,
weird.
let's start. Let's fucking start, Christian.
The one national Washington person here. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a
nervous now.
nationalist.
Yeah. I don't know where to go from here.
I'm not a nationalist.
Ask him where he was January 6th.
Right? Wait, we already know.
Capital. We know
Oh,
where he
yeah.
was January 12th. Song plug.
Oh.
That's so stupid. Anyways,
You guys got any music coming out soon, or what's the haps with that?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God, we are so excited about our EP.
have
Jamie,
we even talked about it
also-
publicly?
No, we haven't. Also known as Logan, also known as the Mastermind, has been slowly trickling out like Pornhub clips, to us.
Content.
Yeah, of
His OnlyFans guitar page.
exactly. We're the only subscribers, but goddamn, is the content good, and it's been
Totally worth the price.
yeah, it's been great lately. So yeah, we're planning an EP release probably by late summer.
Mm-hmm.
In the coming month in April, we're gonna get together and just soak in each other's sweat and filth
Juices.
and just write and track and argue, cry, write and track, smoke and
Not enough crying there.
yeah, not enough crying.
There's
Yeah.
gonna be so much fucking crying.
What is your opinion on? Because now I feel like a lot of bands are starting to stay away from like full length albums, trying to stick to like singles and small EPs to kind of make it more quicker. Like, what do y'all feel about that?
I have very strong opinions about that, but I'll let Sean start.
I mean, I have strong opinions about literally everything, but like, I mean, okay. I think it depends on what's available. So like, I can't objectively say that there's anything wrong with a full length, like I think it can be executed very well. I think there's a lot of full lengths out there that, they're story based or concept based, where there's like a linear arc throughout the album, and full lengths definitely have their place. But as far as like what status quo is, everything is very much streamlined. We're a capitalist society. Unfortunately, we're focused on consumption, so we want instant gratification. And I mean, I can't blame them, especially in terms of music. Like, who can say no to new stuff, like from our favorite bands? But if you have a steady stream of content and it's your form of income, like, you certainly can't fault anybody for releasing stuff as singles or shorter EPs. There's definitely an appeal there. And I think, it's kind of the media for the material. Like, you can't paint with a pencil, you're drawing. But like, if you want to tell a big story, you're going to need a full length. But if you're putting something out, to put something out, singles are okay too. Can be said for everything.
Yeah, I think kind of like what Sean was saying, there is a lost art form in releasing full length albums. But and I know I've been mocking Joe Rogan by doing those Jamie pull this up sections, and this is about to be my crescendo of mocking Joe Rogan. I have a lot of strong opinions about singles and EPs without knowing any of the facts of the market. But my assumptions of the market is that people are more inclined to write a playlist than they are to write a full album release on their Spotify or whatever else they're using to stream the music. And I think you could make an argument that with this new trend being that they need to be more limited releases in terms of quantity, that bands are forced to release as opposed to the fillers that are often in full-length albums.
Great point.
Which is, it's more rife in hip-hop where you've got these benign fucking
20 track
audio.
albums.
Yeah, a 20 track, with half of them just being dumb scripts and interludes.
Yeah.
But that also has toxicified. That's a new word, Jamie. Look it up. On in metalcore albums and metal in general.
Yeah, and that's a good point too, because like, especially when bands get in there and they're like, okay, we got 6 songs, let's add 4 more. Let's just write them real quick, just so that we can have the 12.
Yeah.
And it's like, they just start adding random shit in. Oh, I lost you.
Yeah, we're coming.
Yeah, we're coming back. We had
Oh,
to
I got
swap
you.
out a battery. You still have our audio?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but to build off what you were just saying, like I think a lot of that was probably initiated by album requirements, having to release a certain amount of tracks in an album. And so bands, end up not being able to release
Sober up, Jamie.
complete quality in the entire album release. And, ultimately my personal goal would be eventually we do release an album. But if we do that, it's not going to be with filler. And I think right now we have the capacity to release a really high quality EP with guaranteed no filler. What was that Sum 41 album? All killer, no filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Sum 41 topic. What do y'all think about the Screaming Bloody Murder album? That was like the album that they after the big 10-year gap or whatever. Everyone hated it.
I don't think I've even listened to
Any Sum 41 stuff.
I didn't catch that. What?
Sean was saying that he's never listened to Sum 41.
I know they have like a Fat Lip song or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Fat
know
Lip.
the words.
And honestly, All Killer No Filler is like the pinnacle album to me, and I haven't really followed them outside of that album.
So, because they stuck to the whole they did the whole Good Charlotte punk type shit, but Screaming Bloody Murder is just like a whole different album. It's not any of that shit. It's just like a raw fucking album. When I heard that, I was like, damn, homie got out of rehab fucking angry. Like, and that whole album is really good. And a lot of people hated it because of how Sum 41 was, especially with like No Fun, Just Filler, fucking all that other shit. Definitely a left turn that they took, and I like it. Now, the last two albums kind of suck.
I'll have to take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am a huge Sum 41 fan. I fondly remember as like, I don't remember how old I was. I was definitely under the age of 18. I would read Calvin and Hobbes and listen to Sum 41, and that was the extent of my edginess.
Homie got to date Paris Hilton. Like when he dated Paris Hilton, I was like, we have hope. Like when I saw an ugly person dating Paris Hilton, I was like, I have a hope of dating a Paris Hilton.
Yeah, Paris Hilton specifically.
Yeah, exactly. So
Stars Are Blind was a sick fucking album. I think, well, maybe it was just a song. Whatever Paris Hilton's debut was. Pretty good.
I'm trying to think. I think she did that as a single. Or again, that was a single, and then it was a full length followed with just like oohs and ahs of songs.
Filler.
Yeah. And
Steve, Paris Hilton is the reason why we do EPs.
Yeah, actually, thank you, Paris.
Yeah. Can't think of anything else she's done good, so I'm really happy she was able to chalk that one off the list.
What was that reality show she was on? That was a blessing. With Nicole Richie?
Yes. The Simple Life.
That was a blessing. Thank
Michael
you, Paris,
Ritchie.
for your art.
For your art. I watched a really funny video of Kim Kardashian. I don't know why those two correlate in my head, but they're the same type of people. But just talking about like people needing to work.
That's what the fake news wants you to think.
Exactly. But I love like rich people telling, that we have to work and we have to work hard, get off our butts. It's like, you don't know anything about that, homie.
That's an interesting dichotomy. If we're going to go into pop culture at all, it's really interesting that right now we have two like competing what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. Just two competing messages about Kim Kardashian right now, because I know right now she is what I'm assuming, according to popular news, she is dealing with like essentially a domestic violence situation. With being stalked and whatnot. And then there is this other component of, I guess, something that she had said about poor people need to work and stop being so lazy. It's an interesting dichotomy to be in. I couldn't imagine. I'm trying to empathize with her right now. I'm failing at it because I do believe, that's bullshit. Saying that poor people are poor because they're lazy. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the world right now. If you want more, you got to pay.
Nah, literally for real. Yeah, and Kanye's been off his shit. I want 2008 Kanye back. I don't want any of this fucking bullshit anymore. I'm over it. But that's what's so scary about it is like there's women that die like every day because of basically the shit that Kanye's doing, but because they have so much money, Kim's able to afford security, so it's not like he can just kind of walk up there and do shit. So
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if it's like the money part or like his persona. And that's, I guess, what scares me is like if other men, particularly, because we are the biggest perpetrators of stalking and murder and abuse of women, if other men see that you can get away with this if you have a certain air or persona to you, that's scary to me.
I mean, just
Yeah.
look at Chris Brown, how he's enabled by all of his followers and stuff. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and now he's like in trouble again for like assaulting another person. And it's like, what? People's attention spans are way too fucking short.
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
was because that was Beyonce, right? That he beat?
Rihanna.
Okay. Again,
Ooh,
I'm
Christian,
Jay-Z's
we got
another piece of shit too.
yeah, well, I'm in really bad.
You need to refresh your pop culture.
I'm so bad with pop culture. You know what I mean? There's no
The
breakdowns.
Queen Bee doesn't get abused.
It's okay. I
all
didn't
right?
know Sum 41.
Hey, you know what I mean? So we're even now.
If we're gonna see Beyonce on the news about abuse, it's because she's beating the shit out of Jay-Z. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. But yeah, that was really wild that Chris Brown kind of got, the let go from that. It's like, oh, you can be on Dancing with the Stars now, type shit.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Completely excused. Honestly, like I'm a big fan of Lil Dicky, and when he came out with a collaboration song with Chris Brown, that was really disappointing. So Lil Dicky, if you're watching this, I'm still your fan, but I am disappointed.
Yeah, this
Show
bitch
was
don't know
really
about
funny,
Pangea.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like kind of like the shitty thing with pop culture because people are just like, oh, it's just kind of like every new thing they kind of don't go past what happened. It's just whatever's new.
Oh, totally.
Which is so weird. This is like a topic I think about all the time. Like, what does it fucking cost us to not give a shit about this person anymore? Like, why do people continue to enable and prop people up and idolize them, put people on these false pedestals? Is quality really that big of a fucking draw for people? I mean,
Oh yeah. I think it's tied to religion,
True.
idolatry.
yeah, but I mean, they kind of denounce that in religion, right? Like, you're not supposed to idolize.
The wrong ones, but
Yeah.
easy once you'd idolize them.
But I mean, like, what do we lose by cutting out Chris Brown? You know, it doesn't
Run it.
It doesn't.
If you're gonna take away run it, you may as well take away my Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, that gives you freedom.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I think about that all the time. Like, it doesn't cost us anything to just. I mean, what is our self? Are we actively questioning our self-worth? Are we thinking, like, yeah, am I an okay? Is this a good decision to support this person further? I don't know. It's just so weird. People are fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
Never cease to fuck with it.
I have to use the restroom.
You can't.
Jamie, you want to come sit and do the ad reads? There we go. All right, Logan's
You're
going to take
coming
over my
here,
spot.
Logan.
Ooh, I could pick
This is
his
a
brain.
perfect time to add.
Fuck yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
I was not prepared for this.
No.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm
Okay.
doing well.
So let's introduce you now. I know we kind of already did, and we've been hearing the Jamie talks, but you are the person of what's wrong, the writer, the brains.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I mean, honestly, I often think of Grant as the person sometimes because he like organized so much. He like keeps the band together. Like, oh, let's do this thing. Let's practice. I'm just there to write music and keep the machine going. I've been writing music since I don't know. I was a kid in high school. I've had several bands, and so I felt like to keep the band going, we needed music, right? Like, and at the time, I was the only one who really had the DAW experience, which it's kind of something that takes a while to get good at. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking back now when I first got into how to use DAWs, and that took a really long time to master.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But it paid
um,
off.
it has paid off. And
He's
anyone,
so good.
yeah, like wondering if they should get into DAWs, yes, get one. Doesn't matter which one. I've used so many. Like I've used Logic as I would say don't start with Reaper. I hate to like bash on the Reaper fans out there, but it's really hard. I tried to get this guy to use Reaper and I had so many questions. And I had Grant try to use it. It was awful. So and that's from tech person. I'm like an engineer by background, so I love all the tech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and so I love Reaper for that reason. But I would not recommend it to the average person to just get started on making music.
It is information overload, kind of.
Yeah,
it throws
it's
everything at you.
I mean, it's made by the Winamp creator, which I mean, love it or hate it, he liked a lot of information at once, which is good and bad depending on what your preference is. So yeah, start with Logic, start with Studio One. I've been using Studio One lately, and you know, I'm a subscriber to Nail the Mix. It's a great way to get promotion. I would love a free subscription on free subscriptions. No, they'll never do that. But yeah, like have you never? That's where I was going with that. Studio One is like never seen in the pro scene, and I've tried to use Pro Tools like a million times. I've tried it like 3 times to get into Pro Tools because I see every pro use Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Because it's in the name, it's pro. Oh my god. But
I don't like it.
God damn it, it sucks.
Yeah.
It absolutely sucks. Anyone who uses Pro Tools is like just somebody who's like just been in it for so long and refuses to learn a new tool. I just don't see the appeal at all. So yeah, get an easy DAW and have fun with it.
Yeah.
We might have just cut out because my cell phone.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. So you started on.
My cell phone stream. I don't have Wi-Fi, unfortunately. Maybe get some.
Oh, I think we're there now.
We better?
Yes, you're there.
Okay.
So you started
move that away from my phone. RF interference. You never know.
NRA is listening to us.
Black magic.
We already got the Bill Nye chip in us, or Bill Gates.
Magnets, how do they work? So you started on the like GarageBand Logic type database, or where'd you start?
Logic was definitely my gateway drug. Yeah, it helped me get through a lot of the struggles with learning a DAW and not being obsessed with, I don't know, all the things you could do with it and just making music. In recent years, I've switched to, you know, like Studio One just because I got fed up with Mac and it's stupid storage tax. Like you look at the new Mac Mini, or was it Mac Studio? They want $1,200 for, I think it was like 4 terabytes or something like that. It's absurd. Who the fuck buys that?
For real.
And I'm sure it's not upgradable. And this is coming from a person who loves Macs for the hardware. Like I literally just bought a new Mac M1. And it's a great machine. I just fucking hate their storage tax, which is unfortunately like extremely important for what you and I do with music creation. Like the drum libraries just take up tons of storage, and then every song you make, you know, lossless audio just consumes your hard drive like nothing else. And I don't know, like, yeah.
I'm considering building a like PC just because of that. Just because I have so many issues with all that. And it's like I'm kind of ready just to mix on just that and then have my, you know, Mac as my thing.
You can have the hub up on one screen and then you got Studio One on the other.
Oh, you know
can
what I mean?
record and
have the music.
I would say do it, but that was in 2020 or 2019 before the whole shortage thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's madness right now. Like I got a 3950 Ryzen chip, and right before the shortages happened, and I feel so lucky right now because that thing's a beast and can handle like my very intense Studio One sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's trying to get a hold of the 5950. That thing is like pure gold right now. So
Oh yeah.
I would say yes, build a PC and screw Apple. But right now, I don't know. Honestly, Apple might be the better option.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the thing. I started on GarageBand, then I went to Logic once I started doing bigger things, and that's what I liked about it. It's so easy, very like user based, just straight and go. But I don't know. I'm kind of ready to get off just because of if I run a session too big, then my computer will crash or anything else like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Studio One.
and I can only play Minecraft on that Mac. It fucking sucks.
It's not enough.
No. So, while we got anyone here, what games y'all playing?
All right, I should give this back to Grant because that's a perfect segue.
Oh. Go
All right, so are we talking about Elden Ring or are we talking about Elden Ring?
So you've been playing Elden Ring then?
No, actually, I've never
Hello
played
Kitty
it.
Adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, My Little Pony. No, of course I've been playing Elden Ring. How many total runes have you lost to the void?
I haven't played Elden Ring.
It's almost as bad as not knowing Sum 41, dude.
I know. I'm fucking up over here. I've been watching Moist Critical though, so I kind of get it. No.
Wait,
So-
can you explain yourself? Justify yourself.
Okay, so this will actually be kind of like a good way to see it. Like, when gaming was big, it was like the Halo or Call of Duty. I was a Call of Duty kid, so I kind of like real games like that look like, you know what I mean? I can't really get into like the Halo or like the sci-fi type
You like-
games.
You like games that
Interesting.
make you punch holes in your
In your
sheetrock.
stepdad's
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
Wait, so you like games that are focused on reality loosely, as
Mhm.
opposed to games that are like science fiction or fantasy?
Yeah, like I played the fuck out of Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
Both of them.
Okay. So, wow, fantasy. So you didn't like Lord of the Rings, the movies at all, or the books?
oh, I for sure don't read. So yeah.
I appreciate how out you are.
What a
about that.
drummer thing to say.
Oh,
I
I
know,
for
right?
sure don't read. Well,
But yeah,
damn.
games no.
Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. Wow.
Mhm.
Oh,
I think the furthest I got was like the Destroy All Humans, like that type of fantasy. That was just a fun ass game.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Campy's 80s alien invasion.
Hmm.
Campies. That's not a word, but Jamie, look it up.
Right.
Logan's flipping me off right now.
He loves that joke.
Yeah. How much fun did you have talking about MacBook hardware? I was having a blast over there.
I liked it. And I didn't know there's a storage. There's a storage.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
shortage.
a literal storage tax. He's just referring to it as such, how much they charge for more space.
Yeah, and the ghost of Steve Jobs has soldered it into their MacBook motherboards. So
You can't get that.
you're not
motherfucker
fucking
out.
upgrading that storage. Yeah.
There's one that you can get. It's the 27-inch, and I know you can change the storage on that one. But it's like a very specific Mac. I don't.
It must have been like one of those all-in-one things then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't you swap some components out on this?
I would argue that 27 inches is an unreasonable expectation.
When I got mine, because this is a 21-inch, I saw it at the store. I was like, this is pretty small. Like, this will be manageable. Once I put it on my desk, I was like, holy fuck, this is big. Like, it kind of like looked way bigger than or smaller than I thought. So
I wish
yeah,
I had that problem.
right. But I'm glad I
Circling
did
it back.
Yeah, Boom, sex jokes.
Yeah, here we go. That's what we're good at over here. What's wrong?
Hell yeah. I'm going to make the cancel what's wrong page right now, actually.
No, please do. You're probably gonna have to say official because there's already
just
cancel what's wrong.
Get the clip
Right.
of me going, I'm a nationalist.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, side note, happy St. Patty's Day to anyone that is Irish. I am, but I don't.
Is that relevant for Irish people even?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Patty took the fucking
Oh.
snakes out.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure you're not supposed to refer to him as St. Patty either. At least I saw that on the thread on Reddit the other day.
yeah,
Does-
I'm talking
does-
about like the historical context. Like it's kind of like Thanksgiving where we pretend it's the day that the Native Americans came or the
And
indigenous
we
people.
all ate
Mhm.
food
Yeah.
together and broke
We just
bread.
broke
yeah, it's just
bread, yeah.
another. Yeah,
And it was done.
it's in the,
We're-
It was hella casual.
it's a
Yeah.
Hallmark holiday, or I guess I should say a Bush. Whoever makes beer, not Ride the Spiral Silver
course.
City Brewery. This is what plants crave. I'm talking about the Bush Answashen or whatever Budweiser's brewed by. It's their holiday.
I don't think. Well, I could be wrong. Jamie, look it up. But is there anything fucked up with St. Patrick's Day?
Our Jamie disappeared.
know.
We
Uh-oh.
allocate him one bathroom break, and I'm pretty sure he just
He blew
used
it.
The one
Yeah,
time I
Fucking
needed
blew
it.
it.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Right during.
There has to be something wrong. White people always fuck shit up, so there has to be something
We
wrong
do.
with it. But
Absolutely.
at least there's no snakes in Ireland anymore, though. So
Thank goodness.
yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
I'm wearing all black for it. So-
Perfect. Wish
Oh,
I
yeah.
could give you a little pinch question.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, oh, I hated that shit so much. Don't touch me. Just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we are playing together the 15th at Jules May.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Who is headlining that?
Chemical cloud.
Himiko Cloud, and we may be saying their name wrong. I'm not sure.
I know, that's why I was
I-
y'all say it.
Yeah, phonetically, I don't know the reference, but I think that they're a super awesome band. We played with them
So
on
cool.
March 4th. I've seen them perform when we haven't played shows, so shows that they were playing,
Mhm.
and they are just so fucking cool. Like, I mean, how often do you get a progressive rock band that can capture the attention of the entire audience, regardless of what demographic they're from?
Without lyrics.
Yeah, they have just such a broad brush of captivation and musical talent. I'm a big fan of their drummer. I watched him drop and recover a stick in less than a second. I couldn't
Fuck
do
yeah.
that. I would probably break down and cry. Yeah.
Walks off
Um,
stage.
Yeah.
Pukes.
Exactly. Just play the samples.
Right? It's like lip syncing once the drummer stops, the drummies are still
Oh,
coming
yeah.
through the PA.
Honestly, can that be my Instagram? If I create a drum handle, it's going to be the Ashley Simpson of drummers.
Hell yeah.
We need to get you one of those little invisible headband microphones
Yes.
that go in front of your ear or your mouth, and then you come up on stage and you do a
A little
choreographed
routine.
dance. Yeah,
Oh
that'd
my
be sick.
gosh. I love seeing musicians, specifically drummers, have those mic stand like microphones on their faces.
Oh my god.
Like the fucker's gonna go off once
I
you
don't
see
know
that.
if you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to listen to Grant while he's playing. It's probably a lot of
Oh my
grunting.
God.
It's probably like a
Yeah.
Planet Fitness.
It is an obscene amount of grunting. And Christian, you can probably empathize with this because you usually have a microphone. You always have a microphone set up next to you, don't
Mhm.
you?
Yeah.
But it's like distanced from your natural positioning where you're drumming.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah. So for me, like after intense rehearsals, I'll have a sore throat from the amount of times I was grunting while
Mhm.
drumming. Like that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I want to get an audio recording and sell it on OnlyFans as like some exotic
ASMR.
like sexual audio that you could get.
Don't disclose
Just
what
isolate
you're
all the
doing.
drums. Yeah, just isolate all the drums just grunting.
Yeah. That's great.
It'll be rhythmic. It'll be called rhythmic grunting.
I have the issue of like if I hit a cymbal wrong or something or like rim shot bad, I'll say fuck really loud. So if I had a mic, that would just be the worst thing. It's just like fuck right in the middle of a song.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm a talker once it comes to like messing up, like or even just playing. I'll just be kind of like hum. That's not really grunting, but like I'll like hum the parts to myself.
From my experience with you guys performing live, you're also like the front man that sits in the back in terms
sure.
of the performances and like engaging with the audience.
I kind of hate that to a point, just because like I don't know, I don't want to sit there and like talk to people, but like every time it's like Darren, like if there's ever a show where I'm like, I think I'm not gonna have a mic this show, Darren's like, no, you have to have a mic. He's like, you're the front man. I was like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I think you should have a mic, Christian.
I'm just anytime a sound guy's like, what do you need your vocals on? I'm like, I'm just the shitty banter guy. Just you don't need to do anything to me.
But like we've learned in our performances, like that's such a great way to separate yourself from, you know, the litany of other talented bands in the same genre. Is like, how do you engage with the crowd between songs,
Mm-hmm.
and just how do you touch the crowd without touching them, throughout your set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't touch people, literally in crowds. Just wanted to clarify that off the top, just so if anyone's listening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And
Sure.
and I'm speaking wishfully when I say that there's a crowd for us. But
like I always like playing a set when it's just the bands in the crowd, but there's never a worse feeling than just seeing the band in the crowd. You know what I mean? That you're playing with.
mm-hmm.
So.
I don't know. Like there's two trains of thought for me. Like I really like the sense of community, and I think we see that quite a bit in Seattle, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where you do see the other bands really try to make a presence in being the audience for whoever's performing.
Mm-hmm.
Because an audience, no matter if it's another band, is better than no audience. And oftentimes, like we have more shows and more performances out here than we have audiences that are willing to come out, whether that be coronavirus related or just people just having an abundance of options and deciding to stay home and play Elden Ring. I don't know. So I would say at the end of the day, when I'm like looking at those two realities, I really appreciate the bands make it a point to like be the audience for the other bands.
Yeah, because it's kind of like one of those things where you give and you take. It's like if you watch that band, you would just hope that they would come back and watch your band, and it kind of creates that circle of like we're here for each other. We're you know, it's a thing.
There's definitely an etiquette involved, I think.
Yeah,
and it's a long-term investment too. Like they may actually actively listen to your music on the side just as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, like they may not be in whatever band that they're in, and they may still be invested in your project as a listener.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still a listener. It doesn't matter that they play in other bands.
Very true. Yes. That was like kind of like the thing, and I kind of didn't say it right, but at Substation, like we literally at the show only had the bands in the show.
Gotcha.
So
that was just several days ago, right?
Yeah, on Monday.
Gotcha. Okay.
So promotion.
What was that bill? That was Nova Fracture, Living with a Bear,
and Never Grows.
It Never Grows. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Never Grows, but I've definitely heard of the other two.
They were from Bellingham, I want to say. They were from somewhere else. Or at least the guitar player talked about. Yeah, guitar player talked about living in the woods, but yeah,
Was he a bear?
No.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That was the other band, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, living with a bear.
Unless it's like a dual band.
Come on, man, my partner's a bear.
Oh my gosh. That band was actually really cool. Living with a Bear. Two singers, both clean singing, which I always find like impressive. Cause like, you know, if you're both clean singing, it's like, what are you going to do to separate yourselves?
Right.
And how well are you going to harmonize? That itself is a skill set. Yeah. The clean singing, I mean, in our genre, and I don't know if Living with a Bear plays something similar to our genre, but it's equally as scary in any genre, honestly. There's just so much more room for scrutiny.
For real. I'm kind of glad we're past the days of the screamer and then the clean singer on stage, having both of them. You know what I mean? Like the Crown, the Empire, and all that stuff.
We were just talking about how cool it was when dual vocalists were a trend.
It all goes back to just how well they performed it, because I really liked Crown the Empire. They did their themselves really good. Mainly their when they had their screamer in the band. David, something like that. But I was a big Crown the Empire stan back in the day. But there are just some bands where I feel like they just do it because other bands are doing it, and then you got the one dude with autotune, and then the screamer. So it's like, if they're good vocalists, then it doesn't matter. Then it's just going to sound good. But I feel like people are just doing it to do it. So.
I got tune kind of enabled that as well.
It's like having two bassists in a band.
Dude, I was saying this to Grant. I don't remember if I sent this message, but like we're talking about this, you know, two vocalists, and it's like some of my most favorite bands of all time have had like gimmicks. Like just off the top of my head, there's a punk band from like the early 2000s, this band called Black Eyes, and they had two drummers, two bassists, and a single guitarist, and then two vocalists, I think.
That's wild.
One of my favorite, like probably not even in my top 10, but fucking awesome band. They put out not a lot of stuff, as with most bands back then, but I think there's something to it. There's definitely a draw when somebody brings out like an unexpected piece. Like in metalcore, everybody goes nuts for Shrezzers because they got the saxophone. Yeah. And you know, the Midnight, they have their saxophone.
God. I go nuts for a saxophone anytime.
Everybody loves
I'll
an
take my blouse
unconventional instrument or setup. I mean, there's something to be said about it for sure.
I don't know about you, Christian, but anytime I hear that there are two drummers performing for the same band, that makes me feel so uneasy. I feel like drums is the only sanctioned solo instrument.
Yeah, that's a hard one. And like, I don't know if you know who the Melvins are, but for a long time,
that sounds familiar.
They were Washington, probably like Aberdeen area, but they were like big stoner metal type band, and they would do two drummers. And if you saw their cam, the way that one drummer was left-handed, one was right. So like their hi-hats were next to each other. So they had two hi-hats, but they would share the same crash. And like it was the weirdest fucking thing. And what was
cool.
And the drummers were so good to where they had the song and they're like, okay, cool. Drummer's doing a whole different beat over here. Drummer's doing his whole little thing over here. And it's like...
So they had like poly patterns and polyrhythms just going on all the time.
And what's weird is like, obviously they didn't record like that. It would just be like one drum, but like live, it sounded like just one. Like if there was no video on the camera or anything, you kind of see it. Occasionally you would hear like the off snares where you would hear two different snare hits, almost like trying to be in unison, but they're off. But sometimes like those dudes were just so tight to where they were just in sync the whole time.
God, that's crazy. So it was just one drummer with four arms.
Basically, yeah. Hold on one second. Hermana, I'm doing the podcast still. Sorry. So...
Mom, more hot baguettes.
Mom! if the chicken tenders aren't done, I'll freak out. Okay, so... yeah, and that's why I like about the gimmicks in bands, because if you can make it right and you do it right, it's fucking awesome. But then sometimes bands kind of like, I don't know if you know who Blind Tiger is. They're from Florida, kind of like.
Oh, holy shit! Didn't they just come to town?
They were just playing with Pine Box.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was fucking blown away by that band because they were like that old, like, I don't know if you know the band Horse the Band. Sounded like
they're like Southern metal.
Kind of sounds like 2004.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Maylene and the Sons of Disaster.
Yeah, exactly. And they just had a fucking cool ass sound, and then their synth player would pick up the trumpet or whatever, the tiny little handheld one. I think that's the trumpet.
Yeah, that's it.
And he would just start ripping parts while the drummer looked like fucking the dude from Polyphia ripping shit. Like, that band was so tight. I just watched them like, holy fuck. And then breakdown hits. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
That is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I need to increase my value somehow. Like pick up another instrument like a trumpet or something, just so I have some other shit to do. But I feel like such a loser.
Start doing like all the noise shit. have like pedals.
Just invest
and,
in
like, a
crypto
pad.
on stage.
You open up Robinhood on stage and start day trading.
Just showing it to the crowd.
Yeah.
It's the multitasking that's impressive. It doesn't matter what you do.
Thank you for everyone that just saw me make all this money.
All these trades were for you.
Hell yeah.
T-shirts.
Stop at our merch table and see how you can invest.
Yeah, we've got NFTs.
So do you think, yeah, I don't understand NFTs. I don't want to sound like a boomer, but they've been talking about how in the future, like concert tickets will be NFTs and like other shit like that.
Doesn't even translate to me.
I have no fucking idea what that even means.
It's
Like,
magic.
yeah.
Let me pretend to be Joe Rogan again and speak about something I don't know anything about.
Right.
To my understanding, it's just a way to legitimize digital content and like art, whether that be audio or visual. And it's so dumb because, I mean, the same argument could be said about traditional art, about how we subjectify the price and the value and how some of it just blows through the roof. But for that stupidity to expand into even more
That's true. Yeah.
sorts of medium, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But hey, you know,
Sure,
if
the times.
the Ukraine's getting invaded and people are starving, but let's spend $80,000 on Donkey Kong wearing a top hat.
Yeah. Fuck it. Do you know how
Yeah,
much money that's
exactly.
going to be in 2 years? Like 80,000 in like $4.
It's going to be enough to fund Ukraine's rebuild.
All I know is it's a non-fungible token, and I'm going to use it to plan my retirement.
It's like, good job. It's like, where's that money now? But that's the thing is like all these people are like, I don't want government tracking me. I don't want all this, but I
Yeah.
invest in Bitcoin. It's like, okay.
Well, I guarantee you that the person sitting on the swamp cooler talking about the government not tracking them is not investing in
Yeah.
NFTs.
Right. Yeah. They're like, what's that GIF?
Oh my goodness. Have you seen the new South Park, the new season at all? Any of the episodes?
Yes. The first I saw up to the airsofting one.
Okay, so you saw the city is moving into South Park,
Mhm.
that episode where they're like, cappuccino, Tesla?
Mhm. I love that fucking episode.
Yeah.
And then what was the J.A.R. Tolkien one? That was just
Oh
fucking
my
insane.
God. That's my favorite episode.
And you're the fucking problem.
Yeah. I'll try to summarize it for anyone that hasn't seen it. It's the episode where essentially they've obviously gotten shit for having a character who's a black character named Token. So they redefined the lore in South Park, saying that in the entire time his name was Tolkien. He was named after J.R.R. Tolkien because his family were huge fans of Lord of the Rings,
Mhm.
and that Stan makes a revelation about this in the episode, and he thinks he's the first one to come onto it. But apparently, everyone in South Park knew that
I
it was
fucking
Tolkien.
loved it.
It was just Stan thought it was Token. So he has this crisis philosophically as he erases because he thought it was Token this whole time.
I love when
It's
Cartman's
great.
like, he's like, why didn't you just put the L and the E in it, or the L and the K in it, or whatever the fuck he forgot? And he was like,
Uh-huh.
J.R.R. Tolkien has an L in it.
Yeah, I love all the fourth wall breaking too, where he's at the doctor's and he's like, I think I might be a racist. And the
Mhm.
doctor's like looking at the screen. He's like, anyone that thinks that Tolkien's name was Token is a racist.
It's like, you're the fucking problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that you could tell that they beat the COVID shit to death, and then that first episode they're like, I still want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so South Park continues to be unhinged continuously.
That's fucking great. And now it's made by essentially boomers, which is, props to them.
Hmm I mean, they were doing acid back in the day at like film awards and shit. So,
Yeah.
well, I think we're kind of getting to that point. Is there any further things we need to plug on the What's Wrong side?
No, I guess just to recap, our next upcoming shows is going to be 325. So Friday, March 25th at Tony V's. On Saturday, the 26th, we'll be down in Tacoma.
At
At
Real
Real
Art.
Art, we'll be with a lot of awesome bands. On the 25th, we'll be with Ashes of Existence and a band from Salem, Oregon called To Die Elsewhere. Really cool metalcore band. And I think we have an opening act there at that show called Burning Through Life. I haven't listened to their music yet, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited to see them perform. On the 26th, Exanimate. We've got Still Night from the Bay Area. We've got The Lion and the Sloth, which we're really excited. This will be the first time that we're playing with them. And then on the 27th, with Exanimate, Still Night, The Lion and the Sloth, we've got also Nova Fracture and Ghost Heart.
That's right.
Which
that's
is cool.
a 6-band bill, huh?
Oh my God, it's crazy. I think there's still conversations about how long the set times can be.
Yeah, y'all gonna
because
be there
the
till
bill-
like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a mini festival. So come hang out. The Funhouse, even though it has a small stage, it's got a lot of drinks. So
And-
that's going to be a lot of fun.
And be on the lookout for new music from What's Wrong soon.
Absolutely.
We already have at least 2 songs mostly done, and we have a new one we're working on, and we're going to do like a 5-song EP. So get
Yeah.
stoked.
And our plan is to release a single just to tingle everyone. And then,
It's going to tingle.
yeah, the EP will drop.
It's going to tingle.
I'm already at half mast ready for it, so
Oh, fuck yeah.
well, I'm fucking excited for it, and onto the whole like Lion and the Sloth. I am really fucking excited to play with them, especially because that would also be my first time.
Yeah, let's plug that show together, Christian.
4/15.
April
Yeah.
15th.
Mhm.
That is going to be a sick fucking mixed bill. I feel like I hope we'll capture the attention of some typical audience that would be at Jules May Saloon. And I think we'll all be grabbing some draw from that one.
See, my issue with Jules May is I generally believe that can be, if anything, an 18+ venue, because
Mm-hmm.
they have
Because they're separated.
and they have the door person that sits right there at like that main door anyways. So it's like,
Yeah.
have that homie be the fucking security and then use that the side door. I don't know. I just want to play enough shows there and be like remembered by the person so that I can go up to them and be like, okay, hey, you trust me, I trust you, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because unfortunately 21+ shows do cut like that crowd in half, because there's always that 19, 20-year-old, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wish
Absolutely.
we could play more all ages and 18+ at the very least.
It's fucking
Way
hard
more.
out here.
Mhm. It is.
is.
It really is. I mean, that reflects in our demographic. Our demographic, according to social media, is 25 and 4.
Hey, but you know that when people were making their Instagrams back in like, fucking 5th and 6th grade, they had to kind of put the
Lying
age.
on their age.
Yeah,
That's
so,
true.
You know
I
what I
never
mean?
even
True.
thought about that.
All
Yeah.
these algorithms are so wrong because we all lied setting them up like 10 years ago.
I just got zucked.
Right? Yeah, I'm so happy for them to have my information that I'm a 55-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
You look really good for your age.
I attribute it to stress and anxiety.
And Irish avalanches.
Hey,
4
fucking-
scoops of a Frosty and a whiskey shot before every show.
That's how we do it. So back to the whole like mixed bill thing. That's what I really like about mixed bills. I feel like a lot of people steer away from it, but I feel like it just gives each band that kind of light to shine. Because if I go watch a death metal bill, like when okay, I love I Declare War and I loved Pine Box. Every other band low key kind of sounded the same if you listen to it, just because it's just deathcore. So it's like, if there was like that altered difference, it just gives each band that more of a chance, you know?
Oh, yeah. Everyone becomes masters of their genre when they're on the mixed genre bill.
Exactly.
Also, I just feel like I feel like those fans, they are kindred spirits. Like they definitely vibe with the same stuff. Like I feel like anybody that would be there for Himiko Cloud or Constanza or The Lion and the Sloth would easily vibe with What's Wrong. And vice versa, like everything just kind of pairs well together. It's like a wine and cheese selection.
Oh, my God. The charcuterie tour.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. So on our next vlog, we're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So again, thank you guys so much. This has been fun. Thank you to Logan for being our Jamie.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
You didn't look
I'll
up a
pay you
single thing
minimum
for
wage.
us.
You didn't look up a single thing. But he did have a MacBook, which he's really happy about.
Hell yeah. So yeah, again, like all those. Is my mic cable cutting out?
It was
No.
cutting for a moment, but
Okay.
you're good.
I think I was touching it, but yeah, all
You're
those
smoochy
dates.
stuff.
Go check them out. What's wrong? It's it at What's Wrong Band
Yeah,
Yes,
you got
sir.
it.
on Instagram. They got Facebook. Y'all got Twitter.
We don't have no.
Not young enough.
I made a Twitter. I made a Twitter just to kind of shit talk on for Rachel's. It's a Rachel's Twitter where I just go post stupid shit. So yeah. So if anyone wants to start Instagram beef on Twitter, let me know. And then yeah. So
And you can talk shit to us on our Instagram too if you want to.
Oh yeah, and that's the cool thing about having fun bands. Just say whatever the fuck you want.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Christian, just
Yes,
to bounce back your sentiment, thank you for inviting us to do your
Absolutely.
book.
Yeah,
We
this
really
was a lot of
appreciate
fun.
it.
Hell yeah. And that's kind of like the thing I kind of through COVID. I was doing a podcast with this other guy, Steven, but that was called Double Joining. We were just shit talking, doing other things. He left, and I was like, what should I do now? I was like, I kind of like podcasting. I'm fucking horrible at talking. I can't keep conversations to myself going. You know what I mean?
You did great.
Oh, well, thank you. Again, stress and anxiety. But so yeah, and now I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna kind of talk to bands that I play with a lot, and kind of just like other people in the scene, like. So that's kind of where I kind of want to go. So if anyone listening wants to hear anything or any whatever, do that shit. But thank you again for the compliment. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and have us again sometime in the future.
Like, follow, and subscribe to Rachel's Records.
Yeah.
Smash like.
Smash that fucking like button, cowards.
Hell yeah. Well, I will stop there.
All right, I've been dancing, so hope you again.
If you listened all the way to the end of this podcast with What's Wrong, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. The intro I recorded meant to have more information and sound a little bit more compassionate, but nonetheless, I appreciate y'all. Y'all appreciate the music we do, so I appreciate y'all. What's Wrong is fucking sick. April 15th, Jules May. And again, good night. Have a good one.